Where does Plasticon shop for his newest toys? At BigBadToyStore.com. Just go check them out. They have Marvel, DC, G.I. Joe, Transformers, you name it. Even some third-party stuff that some of you guys have been looking for. So click the link below and enjoy the kibble. Yes, plastic kibble. Even order me, yes, me.
Hey guys, it's Plasticon here. I still have this stuff. You guys know how easy it is. All you have to do is subscribe, comment, and help me out on Facebook and Twitter. Yes, that's it. Free! Free! Free stuff! Everybody loves this stuff. By the way, they hit the couch. It's not gonna hold it. Anyhow, you guys want some of this stuff? You need to hit me up. Like I said, every 50 subscribers. 50. 50. You get them both out. So, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And I will be sure I let you guys know the winner as soon as possible. I will catch you guys there. And thanks to all my subscribers and everybody's been checking out my comments and crazy, silly stuff that's been going on. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Autobots work on their defenses. Mighty Megatron comes out of the darkness, bringing along Motor Master and the Stunticons. Megatron gives them the order to transform! The poor little Autobots have no idea what to do. They pull in Defensor. Megatron gives out the order for the Stunticons to assemble! These 5 Stunticons form into Minosaur! Who's gonna win this battle? Minosaur or Defensor? The fate of the Autobots is in your hands. Stunticons, brought to you by Hasbro. Some assembly required.
Fearless Decepticons, we now have air power. Yes, air power.
Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today, we're going to cover an Autobot. Maybe it's a aerial bot? Yeah, aerial bot. Talking about Fall of Cybertron Air Raid. You guys remember him. He's a pretty cool character. Really did like him. But, Assault Mode, it's a good pass. I dig it. Anyhow, I want to thank all my subscribers again. And I also want to give a shout out to V Decepticon, because you know what? You're awesome. Keep up the good work. So we've been going through a little problems with camera work and stuff like that. So trying to help him out. Major audio problems he's having. So we love you, man. Anyhow, I also want to give out a shout out to Chris. Chris knows who I'm talking about. Cal L Reviews. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. Do it. Do it. You. Yeah, you. You. You standing there with a coffee in your hand. You. Check it out. And you. The whiny kid in the corner. Put your finger out of your nose and come over here and watch this. You guys might actually learn something. Anyhow, let's go on to reviewing this toy. Yes, let's do this. Let's do this. let's do this. Anyway, here it is. Here he is. Yes, I know it is the Shockwave mold. But you know what? I really don't care. Because this thing is cool. I really dig this bot. This thing has got a decent mold, decent color. Thank you, Hasbro, for getting rid of those dumb gimmick weapons and giving us cool stuff. That's all I gotta say. Anyhow, here he is in his Cybertronian tank, aka aerial flying, destroying battleship thing, whatever you want to call this thing. I call it awesome because it's cool. I do love the idea that the weapons actually store on this thing and it doesn't obtrude anything. It's really neat how this right here kind of sticks out, gives a nice different silhouette to the actual toy compared to Shockwave's, as well as this gun gimmick thing we got going on up here. I love this. This is the reason why Hasbro should keep going the direction they are right now. There are a lot of people out there right now that have been complaining and complaining and complaining. Oh, why does it come with this little dinky gun? Why does it come with this? Why does it come with that? Well, if you guys aren't complaining about the dinky, silly weapons, then you guys are complaining about power... What is it? Powerizers? Those stupid light gimmick things that never lock, and then you got mech tech. It'd be cool to see a bunch of firing lasers and missiles off these things, but I mean, come on, really? This guy comes with 2 swords, guys. Swords. This will fit in the hand of most of your Transformers. So you know what? If you wanted a sword for one of your Transformers, you got one with this. This guy comes with 2. It's a great bot. And I don't care that, you know, the weapons are not really a sell point for me. It's a character. It's a nice silhouette. It's a nice toy. These are decent quality for what you're giving, honestly. They're not bad. They're very, 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 very awesome. And I love this. Look at this. You got like this nice deep brown with this really dark maroon with silver and gold accents throughout the entire thing with some translucent stuff going on in here. I mean, what more could you ask for in a bot? Seriously. I love this thing. Some people want to complain about the head sculpt on this thing. This head sculpt on this thing is cool. I don't care what anybody says. Awesome head sculpt. Awesome toy. Get it if you see it on a shelf. If you don't see it, order it through BBTS. They have these guys in stock right now. Get them before they're gone. Then you're going to be complaining later on and be like, I should have bought that toy. Maybe you should have. Anyhow, let's go ahead and review this guy. The only thing I think it's awfully odd is this Autobot emblem. Right here. It's upside down. Okay. So you know what? Maybe this is how he flies. How do you guys know this isn't the correct way? Actually, how do you guys don't know that you can probably fan mode this thing in a different direction? Here, let's close the sword real quick. Let's flip these this direction. And then let's unpeg these. Flip these up. And fold this sword out. Well, wow, look at this. Yeah, it's just the thing turned upside down and some fins sticking out, but I mean, really, you can't really complain. It's kind of cool looking. I really like it. I do like the idea that you don't get a bunch of robot kibble under here either. Yeah, you might argue and say, oh, well, there's a torso and legs. honestly, there really hasn't been very many bots I've seen that don't have some slight little bit of something sticking out. So, argument's invalid. If it's a transformer, it's going to have some kind of robot part sticking out somewhere. A lot of the older ones, a lot of G1 stuff, some of that stuff actually tucked away pretty good and you couldn't tell. This is pretty good. I almost feel like we are almost going back to G1 with this, but we actually have articulated bots. There you go. Anyhow, since I got him on this wacky looking mode here, let's go ahead and pull this sword here off. Now the sword I had pegged onto this. It's perfect for that. It actually fits very, very well on top of it. It does happen to have a hole right there in the center. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and look at this sword. This thing is awesome. It's a very, very nice sword. Lots of translucent going through this. Everybody's like, oh, where's our light piping gimmick or whatever, you know. Well, I mean, it does have quite a bit of light piping. I mean, technically, all this silver is just painted over it. But it is pretty neat. I do like the idea that they were smart enough on the back side of this. If I can get it to focus. Which it doesn't want to. Right here, in these little holes, this whole blade assembly here can actually pop off if you wanted to. That's a great thing, because if you think about it, if you actually had this thing as a solid piece and one of these happened to break off, then you're kind of screwed. This gives it a little bit of playability, so that way you don't have to worry about it actually like falling off on you. I mean, you could force it off. Look at that. You can push it right off. It's not bad. I do like the idea that they were smart enough to do this kind of thing, because one big thing that irks me about older Transformers and stuff like that is whenever there's a part that breaks, it's broken, it's gone, it's done. You can't do nothing about it. This, it's like, okay, well, you know, at least we're thinking about bits possibly falling off, because kids are a little rougher with toys nowadays than they used to be. I remember when I was growing up, I had to be careful with my G1 stuff, otherwise it would fall apart. Anyhow, let's move on to Air Raid. Let's go ahead and slap him back into his official mode, so that way you guys can get the actual transformation down here. It's the same thing as Shockwave, but anyhow, let's flip these bits forward, peg them in, just like so. Oh, and this bottom bit here, it does tend to come loose sometimes. But if you kind of push it together real good, it normally won't. I actually kind of knocked it loose in there, but that's okay, because we're going to take it off here in a second. Anyhow, let's continue doing this. Let's move this thing around. Up and around and down and into the little hole peg. There we go. Let's flip these portions here up. Unattach these. Bring these down. Flip these over to the sides. Move these to the correct position. Move these down. Flip out the hands. Which are actually a little easier to do on this one for some reason. On my Shockwave, they're a little stiff. And I haven't transformed this one here half as much as Shockwave, so I don't know if it's the plastic quality or what it is there. It's kind of odd. Anyhow. There we go. Then, separate these legs. Untap this here in the back. Now this thing here actually cradles the entire bot. You untab it, but it also like covers the chest piece, which is kind of neat. Then fold his feet up like so. And then epic head reveal. Bam. Push these things into its little pegs. And there we go. There we got Air Raid in his robot mode. So you guys get a good look at this head sculpt. I tell you, that head sculpt really works for me. He actually does have very wicked light piping as well. It's like, oh, maybe you should have been a Decepticon. Maybe you should have been. It's got to make a killer Skywarp. But anyhow, we're getting a Skywarp, so that'll be a different review. Anyhow, there is a really, really decent look at him. He's a very, very nice bot. I do love the colors they used here. I like the idea they broke all this up because this was pretty much what Shockwave was. They also remolded this entire chest piece here, which I do dig that. I like that because it's one of those things that shows that Hasbro actually was trying to put a little bit of effort into this thing versus just, oh, put the same mold together and slap a different head on it. That's not what they did with this. They actually remolded these, and that's something I like. I like the idea when they do something like that. It's like back whenever they did the G1 stuff, if you think about it, they did slight remolds here and there to some stuff. I mean, all the Seekers had some types of differences between them, which was kind of nice. Anyhow, here he is. Let's check out the weapon he came with. Came with this thing. It folds up like so. This becomes a very, very large sword. Very large sword. It's really, really neat. I do like how it's like this big, gigantic, wicked blade. And it's kind of neat how this, well, when you close this together, it's got this little tab that actually locks into this other hole. So when you put this around the torso of the bot, it doesn't fall down. So it's really nice. And this actually has a soft click to it, which is a very, very awesome thing. It will really help out with the stability of this thing. Now, it does have the ability to separate from this part to give you a twin blaster cannon. So this twin blaster cannon conveniently does the same thing that Shockwaves does. Also, you can take this entire Star Saber looking thing and plug it in on his hand. He's got a very, very large sword, but oh well. It was Optimus Prime. It says we can't have a big, gigantic sword. It's really neat. I do like this a lot. I do dig the idea that we have, you know, the ability to use more than one sword. Now, some people's like, oh, well, you got this gimmick where you can combine the two swords together. What you do, and what you do is you take this portion here, click it back on, take this, peg it over that hole, fold this out, become this crazy quad sword, or this crazy tri-sword looking thing. Then you can put that in his hand, well, as it pops loose in my hand. And then you can do this. It's kind of neat. It's almost like a trident spear kind of thing. It's really, really neat. I do like this thing. It does have a hole here on the top, so that way you can take any other kind of weapon you want to and plug it in there and put like a rifle or some crap on the end if you want. That's the great thing about these Fall of Cybertron figures. They actually thought about the compatibility between all the bots. But it's one of those things that I am a big fan of. I do like that. I love how they decided to go about building up an entire line that has swappable weapons, compatible weapons with each other, and you're not stuck with this craziness being, oh well, you got the one weapon and it only fits on one bot kind of thing. 'Cause that's not the way it should be. It should be this way where you can just take anything you want and plug it in the way you want. Trying to fit this. There we go. Now he's got a blaster in one arm, and this is actually, I folded up his hand and stuck it on there. So I mean, he can actually have like a blade come right out of his arm, which is kind of nice. It's really, really, really cool. I do like the idea that he's almost like, you know, like the butcher of the Autobots. He's an Autobot. He's got to defend himself somewhere. Anyhow, there is Air Raid in his robot mode. Very, very beautiful bot. Very beautiful. Compared to Shockwave. Very, very nice silhouette with these two standing next to each other. Nice adversaries there. Next to Peekaboo Prime. So, kind of shows you his height. Pretty decent. On to my recommendations. Buy it. It's a great bot. Can't go wrong. That's it. Buy it. You know you want to? Yeah, you. I'm pointing at you. That kid in the corner over there with a lollipop in his mouth. You. Buy this toy. Because you know you want it. But anyhow, this has been Plasticon. This has been yet another review. And this is me signing off. Peace out, you guys.